that you said a couple of years ago that was caught on camera, and it's about having some sort of insurance back to some scheme to support the NHS with its funding.
Oh, this was quoted on you last night.
And my view is that because of the pressure to actually say it and actually give people what they want to hear, that you backed away from that. And my firm belief is that politicians now need to go down the route of being able to find a different way of funding.
Well,
and I just think that you speak people's fear. My feeling is you should go for it.
You agree with that? Well, let's clarify that last night. Let's clarify, because Ed Miliband had a bit of paper. He had the quote.
Yeah, well, I had a bit of
off camera. You were saying that about maybe having to think about insurance.
Right. Okay.
And I work.
You said he was lying.
Hang on. Yes, he was. When you formulate policy in any party, you have a debate. And what I said 3-4 years ago was, should we have a look at the way the French and the Dutch fund their health service, because they have a lot more insurance-based money in it. We debated that. We concluded as a party, actually, getting the private sector into the health service, which began in 1997, had delivered terrible value for money, had given us hospital wards that weren't as clean as they'd been before. And so we rejected that idea on the basis we wanted the NHS to be properly run. And what Miliband and the Labour Party have done is to put literature around millions of homes saying Nigel Farage wants health in Britain to be like America, you know, where you'll be charged a vast amount of money to have an operation.
It's quite strong to call someone a liar.
It's a blatant lie.
Okay. Let me go to Laura. A question on tuition fees. Are you a student?
Yeah, I'm a student in Manchester.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about paying back the bills, but almost half of students aren't going to pay back the £9 tuition fees. So you've mentioned about scrapping them, but only for sciences subjects. So if humanities subjects, like I study linguistics, is that not valuable?
Of course. No one's suggesting that degrees in all sorts of things aren't valuable. What I am suggesting is that we're sending too many people to university. What I am suggesting is we have downplayed the learning of trades and skills in this country through a bizarre form of snobbery. You know, it's as if, you know, oh, how awful. You know, my son or daughter wants to learn, you know, an actual skill. No, they must go to university. So I'd like to see fewer people go to university. But what we have said is this, in the short term, there is a chronic shortage. We talked about STEM subjects earlier on today. There is a chronic shortage. And when I go and meet, you know, engineering companies, metal bashing companies... We know that, but
science, medicine, technology, engineering and maths, why are they superior in when it comes to learning
because
and
we have a shortage,
helping the cut to what are you doing?
I'm studying linguistics.
Because, as we've discussed and debated on this programme already, we haven't got enough engineers. Graham will back
we haven't got enough historians who know when the Battle of Waterloo was.
We haven't got enough nurses in our hospitals. So where there are skill shortages, we want to get rid of tuition fees. It won't please everybody, but if it does help to close a chronic skills gap in this country, that's a good thing.
We've got it. I'm sorry, but you got a question here. We've got a tweet from Mark in Cardiff, and he says, "How can you rail?" It's along the lines of, I just scribbled it down. How can you rail against the corporate takeover of politics when you've just got a cheque for £1 million from Richard Desmond?
Because he is not a corporate. He is a self-made man who has built his own businesses. And what I'm talking about...
subscribe to some of his publications?
Some of them I do. He was after me there, wasn't he? I am talking about the big multinational corporations who work hand in glove with the EU, who actually help now to frame the laws that make it so difficult for Brian's FSB members to compete on an even playing field. And I want to see that playing field evened up.
Can I ask a question?
I really do.
I'm not sure if you can. Yes, you've got a minute.
Very briefly.
30 seconds.
The expenses scandal embroiled and upset so many people. We had a dreadful situation in Enfield North with Joan Ryan walking off the expenses. What are you planning to do to rebuild the trust in MPs in the public's mind? That's why so many people are not voting.
10-second answer.
Recall. In our manifesto, if 20% of the constituents want to sack an MP in between elections, they should be allowed to do so and call a by-election.
A real recall, would you?
A genuine recall.
The debate continues on 5 Live. Friday Takeover continues on 5 Live. Thank you very much indeed for your contributions. Thank you, Mr. Farage. Chris Warburton is next. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great weekend.